All right, everyone. Well, for the record, I'm rerunning this workshop, all right, after YouTube failed to upload the earlier live, all right? So now you can join me for a clear, practical breakdown of PTE Summarize Written Text and learn the formula to score 7-9 plus with confidence. So to kick off, let me just share the screen. No, share the screen is right here. Okay, one sentence, one score. That's great. All right, guys. All right. So, let me just go back here. We have everything. All right, so we're ready. So, guys, again, hi everyone. Welcome back to this live. Okay, here on my YouTube channel, we score boost formula. All right. So, guys, this is about PTE test. Today we'll be talking about these. So, tell me if you ever looked at your PTE writing score and thought, my goodness, my summary looked perfect. How is this even possible? Is this even possible? Well, it happens all the time, and I hear you, all right? And today we're going to fix that because here's the deal. PTE doesn't reward long, beautiful, and creative paragraphs, okay? Actually, it rewards control, logical, structured, and efficiency. All right? And today I'm going to show you exactly how to get it. All right? One sentence, one score, mastering PTE Summarize Written Text. Let's kick off. Okay, so if you don't know me, I'm your guide today, Gisele Figueiredo, founder of Connect to You Academy. I've been teaching English for over 8 years now, internationally. And I'm also the creator of this channel, the Score Boost Formula. And here I aim to help students achieve 7 plus in the IELTS test, 7-9 plus in the PTE test. Also, I help students improve scores in SAT and TOEFL. Okay? And also, guys, again, so I teach and I show practical research-based methods that actually work. Okay? So here's the thing. Let's stop overcomplicating your writing and let's start scoring 7-9 plus in this case. The thing is, the students love complicating things, right? They love doing that. And actually, the things are much easier, right, than you think. Okay. So let me see my slide here. All right, so let's move on. The truth about this task. So let's break this myth, okay? Let's get one thing straight before we dive in, all right? Summarize written text is not testing your English level. As we talked here about it before, right? About the IELTS writing, IELTS speaking, all of these things, SAT questions. So none of these tasks, they actually are testing your English level, okay? So what they want is to see, they want to see different skills here, all right? So in this test, specifically this task, you're being tested sentence control, okay? So most people think if you use advanced vocab, you will score high. So I'm so sorry, no. Or perhaps you think, if I write more crazy words, maybe I'll impress the AI. Absolutely not, believe me. Guys, the PTE engine wants one single thing. One sentence that captures the main idea with clarity, logic, and structure. That it is. Simple. Simple, but not easy. Not easy peasy. No, it requires practice, of course, but you can do it. So what's the truth about this task? Here's what Summarize Written Text actually measures. First, clarity. What is this, teacher? Your main idea must be instantly clear, all right? No guessing, no digging. The same, guys, when it comes to IELTS. The main idea is always there and it's always clear. There is no such a thing as, oh, I think. No. The AI doesn't, by the way, AI scores your test, okay? So the AI doesn't interpret, oh, this guy's trying to say this, saying that. No. AI is a machine, so it matches patterns, right? Words to ideas, and it goes. That's why clarity is crucial, all right? So let's talk about the structure. Guys, complex grammar must flow naturally, okay? Not forced, not robotic. So this means actually you need to know how to use this complex grammar rules, all right? We'll be talking about some of them today. Um, then we have logic. Teacher, what is this logic? So guys, your ideas need to be connected in a meaningful way. What is the meaning, right? Are you saying crazy stuff? So if the relationship between ideas isn't obvious, you lose points, right? This is not a mystery. So your ideas must be clear. Another important point, the last but not the least, grammar, accuracy. Yeah, sorry to say, but no mistakes, not even tiny ones. All right, believe me, the AI is unforgiving. All right, moving on. So why most students actually, teacher, tell me, fail? So let's talk about this, guy. This is really important. Even advanced ones, all right? As I told you as well before in my previous lives, okay? Those tests are not easy, even for native speakers, all right? Because as I said, like a broken record, these tests are not about your English, okay? Remember that. So what happens is students write multiple sentences, right, in this task. As you know, you gotta be clear using just one single sentence. Others add too many examples, guys, examples. This is actually, I would say, a problem, a serious problem when it comes to students. They always lose themselves in details, right? So details, guys, examples, they are just noise, of course, when it comes to main ideas, right? So because of that, they get lost in details, as I said, right? So, and then as consequence of that, they miss the main idea entirely. They focus on what they shouldn't focus, right? So you gotta eliminate the distractions. That's what I always say. I always tell my students, eliminate the distractions. Just focus on what you're looking for. And in this case, you're looking for main ideas. Well, guys, the thing is, it's frustrating because you're working hard, right? But the case is you're not working strategically. That's the case. You don't use strategies. And this makes the whole difference. I'm preparing this student for the IELTS, right? He's a very good student, hardworking, and he's having these lessons with me. And he always says, teacher, it's really interesting when I learn the strategies because it changes everything. Before, when I took the test, I did the test like crazy. I just tried to answer the questions. But now I know exactly what to do. I know my mission. Okay. For every question, you have a mission. What is this, teacher? What does that mean? You may ask. The mission is actually what you gotta do, right? In this question, in this type of question. So every question has got a different mission for you. So if you focus on your mission, you can ace the question. All right, so let's talk about something very interesting, the formula, right? So because today, guys, today, I'll show you my formula that stops all this confusion once and for all. All right, do you want to see it? Guys, I forgot. Please, if you have any questions, anything to add, please drop your questions, your ideas in the comment section below on YouTube, please, or on Facebook, all right? Whew, it's hot here today. So let's talk about these. So what PTE really scores? Guys, as I said, once you understand what the AI is looking for, everything clicks, right? So here's the checklist. Take your notes. Content. So that's what you need to deliver, right? Content. Did you capture the main idea plus key points? Teacher, for God's sake. Key points? Yes, guys, because the main idea, right? Let's say that you find your main idea, the topic, and in the topic sentence, of course, mostly in the introduction part. But guys, you have the conclusion. See, that's why you read the first and last sentence, because the main idea is actually there. Not only in the introduction, but also in the conclusion. Why? Because the concluding sentence brings all of the important information that was said in this paragraph. And this conclusion brings key points, important information, right? So you need to capture not only the main idea, see the topic, the main idea, but also the key points. So what about the form? Exactly one single sentence between 5 and 75 words. Of course, the grammar, complex, accurate. Guys, yeah, sorry to say, but for this task, you need to know complex grammar. So it's like subordinated conjunctions, different structures, right? Vocab must be precise. Yes, academic, better words, appropriate, correct as well. As I told you before, right? You need to know academic words for this task, but you need to know how to use the words, their meanings. This requires vocabulary studying. If you know how to study vocabulary, okay, book a lesson with me. I teach my students how to do that. And of course, guys, we're talking about spelling. Zero mistakes. Zero. So think of it like this, okay? It's not about writing more. It's about writing smarter. All right? So the AI rewards efficiency, not decoration. Sorry to say. Moving forward. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Our one sentence formula. Let's say the Connect to You Academy formula by me. Ay, my God. Okay. So let's talk strategy, right? So this is the formula, right? The 7-9 plus formula I give my students. So you got to follow the steps and the template. So let's get the party started. So step 1, first things first, identify the main idea. So how do you do that? You may ask. Look at the first and last sentences. That's where writers hide the big message. Yes, it is. Guys, this is the academic writing pattern, okay? It's always like this. But teacher, sometimes the main idea, the topic sentence is not the first. Yes, guys, of course, right? Also, this is the academic writing style. So sometimes the writer brings a background before the topic sentence. This background is normally generic, okay? It brings a general idea. And then he comes up with a topic sentence. These topic sentence, guys, listen, this is important. The topic sentence is never generic, okay? Never. So it's always a specific idea. Always. The topic sentence is always specific. The topic is general, has got a general idea, but never the topic sentence. Topic sentence is always specific. All right? Because this writer will explain, will develop this specific idea in this paragraph, right? No one is able to explain a general idea in one single paragraph. Well, first and last, okay, what do you do? Also, I teach these strategies, okay, to my students. What do you do when you don't find your topic sentence in the first sentence? So you move to the next. Then you read the last sentence as a conclusion. So let's suppose that the conclusion also doesn't give you enough information. It happens. It happens when you read the last sentence and you ask something, for example, what? What is this? What is it? Who is he? Right? So when you ask information like this, it's because it's not your concluding sentence. So what do? You read the previous one. You never read the whole paragraph, guys. There is no need to do. If you do that, you're going to complicate your life. You're going just to lose yourself. Okay? You're going to focus on details instead. So this is definitely not good. So your aim, your mission is to find main ideas, first and last sentences. Then we have step 2. Pick 2-3 key points, okay? Key points. Key points are there in your topic sentence or in your concluding sentence. So these key points are not related to details. Details are just noise. They really don't matter when it comes to main ideas, again, of course. So after you do that, you combine everything you found into one single logical sentence using connectors such as while, although, as a result, words such as suggesting, emphasizing, okay? So here's the template for you. The text explains that main idea here, emphasizing this, point one, and suggesting that, point two. So you have main idea, two key points in one single sentence. Here, I would like to point out some important information, such as punctuation. Okay, so guys, pay attention. When I give you a template, pay attention to the punctuation, right, marks? So whether you use commas, right, periods, you need to punctuate your sentence correctly. So after I give you, right, these guy, that is the template. Let's take a look at these examples. Here we have a low score example and also a high score example. Let's compare. Let's compare these guys. So the low score version, it says, education is important. Parents help children. It's very important. So guys, what do you think about this one? So drop your answers, please, in our comment section. What do you think about this one? Would you write something like this? So first and foremost, education is important. Guys, it's too general, right? Education. So as I told you, topic sentences are specific. Main ideas are specific, not general. So if you say that, which education? What are you talking about? Parents help children. This is too vague, no details, right? It's very important, repetitive, and God knows, very, no. Okay, let's say it's cute. But there's a thing, AI hates it. Let's move forward to the high score version. So the text discusses the importance of early childhood education. See, this is the specific. This is the specific topic, all right? Early childhood education. It's not just education. So take a look at the template, okay? Emphasizing that learning through play strengthens social development and suggesting that parental involvement enhances children's motivation. See the difference? Again, let's analyze this thing. One sentence, logical, structured, and connected, okay? This is what scores 79 plus, 79 plus. All right, so this grammar focus for a smooth connection, okay? Yes, and you may ask me, teacher, do I need to know all of this? And I gotta tell you, sorry, yes, you must know, okay? So, when students hear complex grammar, many panic. For God's sake, teacher. Guys, it's not complicated, okay? It's just strategic. So you may just focus on these rules here. So if you know these guys pretty well, you can ace this guy. So you gotta know how to use subordinated clauses, okay? That means subordinated conjunctions such as these, while, as, although. The relative clauses, guys, is also important. These are also important because, It's the way you can join your sentences much better, right? Using these which, that, who, and where. The participles also crucial, of paramount importance. So you need to know how to place these guys in your sentence using emphasizing, suggesting, highlighting. Also, you may bring about sentences with different connections, such as therefore, however, in addition, additionally. All of these advanced connectors, of course, you know, right? So these guys allow you to connect ideas naturally. That's what you want, without breaking the one sentence rule. Okay? Because you can't break this rule. You need to come up with one sentence. So yes, I'll think about giving a workshop, a grammar workshop as well. I'm planning to do that because there are lots of grammar rules, right? The students struggle. So I'm gonna try to help you guys about it. Okay, so let's move forward. So here we have your next steps to the 79 plus band, and you have your practice task 1 about urban development and heritage preservation. So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to go and I wanted to try to figure things out here. First, I wanted to try to find the main idea, okay? Remember, this task is about finding main ideas. This is your mission, okay? So how do you find main ideas? Remember what I said previously? First and last sentences. While you were reading those, you understand the topic of this paragraph. Actually, it's right there, right? Urban development and heritage, right? Preservation. So as soon as you understand that, you find your main idea, reading the first and last sentences. Then what are you going to try to do? You're going to try to synthesize those sentences, okay? Using those grammar rules I told you before, and also the template I gave you, and following these steps. So now I want you to try, please, to do that. And then I'm going to give you some time, okay? And you may drop your answers in our comment section, all right? So here's the paragraph. Let's get the party started. I'll check your answers, okay, after this live, all right? So I'll give you feedback. So if you haven't found your answer yet, let's do it like this. You may screenshot, okay, this, and then you may send me your answer, all right? All right, all right, all right. I have a problem here now. My goodness, wait a sec. Okay. Let me fix the situation here. Ooh, ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, let's move on. Just a minute, guys. Something went wrong. My mouse has got an issue here. I gotta fix it. So, guys, just a minute. I'll be back in 1 sec. Please try to answer the question. Yay. Okay, there we go. All right, all right. I was trying to troubleshoot things here. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm back. So let's try this out again. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's see the answer, right? So the key here, guys, is to focus on the core tension between development and preservation. See that actually what the topic's saying, urban development and heritage preservation. Of course, the conclusion here brings a solution. So you got to use this information as well. Of course, coming up with sentences with connectors that highlight this balance, right? So let's take a look at the examples right now. So the low score example says cities need to grow, but old buildings are important. It's hard to keep both, right? So would you write something like this? Too general again, multiple sentences as well, right? Simple language, right? and it lacks specific topics such as cultural heritage, policy frameworks, right? And it fails to connect the ideas logically in a single thought. As you can see, where are the subordinated conjunctions, the connectors, the template, right? So now let's take a look at the high score example, how it goes. So follow up with me. Despite the contemporary imperative for urban development to accommodate population growth and economic expansion, cities must implement innovative planning and policy frameworks to balance this progress with the preservation of their unique identity for long-term well-being. Guys, this is one single sentence, right? It's a long one single sentence, but it's one single sentence. So you can clearly identify the challenge, right? And the solution in the paragraph. Of course, you can see sophisticated connectors, right? So despite imperative, to balance, right? And the vocab, of course, from the passage. All right, so if you go back here to the text, my mouse still presents some issues. So the first sentence says modern cities are increasingly confronted with the dual challenge of accommodating rapid population growth and fostering economic development. So you can see population growth, challenge, economic development. This is about modern cities. And then in the last sentence, you have ultimately successful cities integrate both progress and preservation to maintain their unique identity and ensure long-term well-being. So see, all of these words are there in your one single sentence. So the idea is to grab these main ideas here, to add the key points, and then to come up with a single sentence. All right? So we have, again, I have some problems. My goodness, I don't know what's going on here today. So it's hard. My mouse is getting crazy. Let's say my mouse is nuts. Oh. Okay, so let's talk about some additional observations, okay? This, I believe, will take a while a bit. Guys, just be patient. Yeah. I don't want to stop the live because of this issue, okay? But yes. All right. So the additional observations. So guys, this passage actually is challenging because it presents, right, this complex dilemma. So you have multiple ideas there, right? The pressures on cities, the consequence for heritage, the need of solution, right? So this task actually requires identifying the primary conflict and the overarching approach suggested for resolution rather than just listing observations. Okay, so it requires actually understanding. So first thing to do, let's break this down. Identify the central conflict or tension introduced early in the passage. The conflict, the central conflict. Look for words that signal solutions, recommendations, or ultimate goals, such as requires ultimately successful cities. Then you use contrasting ideas, connectors such as despite, although, while, to link the opposing ideas, and also the result-oriented connectors, right? To articulate the solution. So here you should prioritize nouns and verbs, right? That brings the main concepts such as urban development and heritage preservation, because this is the topic. So as well as innovative planning and these well-being related to society, right? Okay. So let's move to the second task. This task one, task two, right? It's about technology and skills. Let's go there. So here we have another paragraph and you're going to do the same, okay? So you read the first and last sentences to understand main ideas. Also, you need to figure out the key points, right? The topic, follow the steps I gave you, as well as the template, okay? So the tip here is to distinguish between the challenges and the new opportunities presented by technology, right? And the necessary response from education. Okay, this is the tip. So I'm gonna give you some time as well, perhaps to screenshot this question and think a little bit about it. All right. Let me give you more tips related to this one. All right. So try to focus on the cause, the impact, and the solution. All right. So let's go over this to bring about one single sentence again. All right, let's take a look at the low score example and the high score example again, right? Low score. Technology changes jobs. Some skills are old. New skills like creativity are needed. Schools must change. So what are the issues here? Well, here we have four separate sentences. Lacks flow, of course. Uh, you can see very basic vocab, no complex ideas, no cause and effect relationship, right? Yes. Also it lacks details. It lacks important information, right? Not details, but important information. So when you take a look at the high score example, you see a different thing. See, it's even longer. So as technological innovation rapidly reshapes the global job market, simultaneously causing concerns over traditional skills obsolescence and generating demand for uniquely human competences like creativity and critical thinking, educational systems must urgently adapt to prepare future workforces. So here, guys, you have just one single complete sentence. Again, my mouse. So the effect, guys, the links, right? The links actually join the sentences effectively, right? So you see, they're talking about innovation, they are talking about market reshaping, the challenges, the demands, and concludes with the necessary education response. Right? It says educational systems must urgently adapt to prepare future workforces. Right? So, of course, you see sophisticated sentence structure and precise vocabulary. So, this is how you must do, okay? If you want to take a high score, if you want to get a high score in PTE. So, let's see the additional observations. So, guys, this passage requires, of course, synthesizing multiple ideas. Right? So here you need to understand the cause, right? The effects, as such as displacement versus the demands. So you need the call to action, right? Let's say the educational adaptation, sorry, right? So the challenge lies in showing these relationships. So you gotta figure this out within a single grammatically sound sentence. So let's take a look at these specific tips for this question. First and foremost, you identify the primary driver of change and its immediate impacts, right? Both negative and positive. You got to understand these guys. Then you look for the solution, okay? Or the imperative presented. It's about educational systems must adapt. This is imperative. They must do that. So in this case, it's a good idea to bring the adverbial clauses, right? The technological innovation, participles such as the simultaneously causing and generating, the conjunctions, right? And compound and combine these complex ideas efficiently, right? So here you should ensure you capture the why. The why. Why is that? Behind the education adaptation. All right? So to prepare, that it is to prepare for the evolving landscape, not just to change for its own sake. No, that's not the case. Okay? So that's why, again, my mouse. So that's why you should capture these ideas. Okay? So guys, these are some examples, all right? We've just talked about two examples here related to technology and urban urban situations, right? But as you can see, if you apply the steps, if you follow these steps and apply the template I gave you, you are more than able to come up with your sentence. Of course, reading here is really important because you need to understand, you need to capture the main ideas and the key points correctly, right? Um, okay. So now let's talk about the best part. Oh, goodness. No, 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 no. My God. Something crazy is happening here. All right, so let's talk about the best part, guys. This is this materials, right? So, guys, what you gotta do is just comment bonus in the comment section, okay? So you're gonna have, and I'm gonna send you personally 7-day PTE Summary Challenge, the 7-day PTE Summary Challenge. And I gotta tell you something. This is an amazing material to help you out. So this guy will train your brain to summarize clearly and logically in one single sentence with daily guided practice. All right? So guys, I always tell my students as well, okay, these tests, all of these tests are about training your brain, okay? So the more exercise you do, the better you become. Again, as a broken record, it's exactly the same as going to the gym, right? So you go to the gym, right, to build muscles. And to do that, you need to work out a lot every day, constantly. The same, okay? If you want to get better scores, right, in your tests, and I'm telling you about all of them, IELTS, SAT, TOEFL, and PTE, you must practice every day to train your brain to think faster and clearly. All right? So that's why this summary challenge for you. Along with that, you're going to receive the PTE summary formula sheet. Okay? These are the templates with connector lists, sample answers to guide you practice. Okay? All of these sessions and coming up with your sentences. So, guys, are you ready to stop guessing your score? So if you want to, you can subscribe to my channel, okay? Sorry for that, but as I said, my mouse is crazy here right now. So subscribe to the Score Boost Formula channel, okay? Every Friday, I deliver lives here about IELTS, SAT, TOEFL, and PTE, giving you lots of tips, teaching you important information. And I also deliver amazing bonus materials. All right. So please be here every Friday to join our weekly workshops. Also, if you want to, you can also book a trial lesson with me at Connect to You Academy. And we can also talk about the plan, a study plan for you, right? So, to wrap up here, let's go to the key takeaways. Master your PTE summary, right? So, guys, you gotta recall these critical strategies and rules, okay, to achieve these 79 plus scores. So, first, the one sentence rule. Your summary must be just a single sentence between those words, no exceptions, never. So, you gotta identify main ideas, right? You gotta focus on the core argument and 2 or 3 major supporting points. You gotta ignore examples, statistics, and minor details. Okay? Again, grammar is of paramount importance. So you need to know how to use sophisticated connectors, subordinated clauses, right? All of these guys to create a logically flowing complex sentence. And also don't forget about the AI's checklist, right? So the AI scores for content, form, grammar, vocab, and spelling, right? So don't forget, precision matters a lot. So I believe there is one more thing. No. Okay, guys. It's a bit, sorry. Oh my God. So it's a bit confusing here because of all of these issues. Okay, guys, so if you want to ask anything, so please go to our comment section, drop your answer there, okay? Because I would love to help you reach the score you know you want, right? And you know you're capable of. So sorry for the problems here, but right, we are actually live and all of these things may happen, right? So thank you for being here today, and I'll see you in the next workshop. Okay? Bye bye.